I went through many different digitalization projects in my life. Different industries, different technology, different teams. But surprisingly, one detail kept returning. All the projects were planned perfectly. There was budget, there was motivation, there was a lot of great technology. And our booklet for requirements was always like this size. The numbers were great, the feedback awesome, everything seemed like it's running very well and is on track. Still, there is something slowing down. What is it? We couldn't see it. The more projects I was dealing with, the clearer it got where we have to put our focus on. I saw this pattern during a CRM implementation. Everything was there. We put up the technology, we had a great team, we had even consultants to help us really do the right things and hit the right buttons. Still, when it came to the data, something was missing. People all of a sudden protected their data as it was their absolutely treasure. In another project, the rollout of global service activities, local authorities got so strong and got so afraid of losing their field or their power, so they started blocking. Or when you build innovation ecosystems and bring different partners together to work towards one great innovation, everybody has his stakes, everybody has his part to play, but still it feels always like people protecting more or try to get a bigger piece of the cake. So there's always some dynamic. You feel like, this was not in the playbook. Where does this come from? So many different projects, a lot of technology and different teams. But this one pattern kept returning permanently. Way back then, I was not smart enough to phrase it, to talk about it, to name it. Today, I know. And today, I want to talk about it. One thing every digitalization project has in common is transparency. It comes along with it. Transparency in general is nothing bad. But when you look at people's side, it's something really scary. Why is that so? Transparency brings mistakes to the surface. Shows how much you're performing or not performing. It shows how deep is your learning. It shows your engagement. It shows your motivation, your collaboration. It shows almost everything. Do we want to see our mistakes? Are we vulnerable enough? So what do? They secretly slow down. They secretly quiet down. Maybe don't tell you everything. Maybe don't show you everything. And this is totally normal. Don't judge them for that. This is human being. And how do most companies react on this? They respond with more process. They tighten their governance. Feedback loops are getting stronger. And they try to be more close to the people. Does this feel good? Maybe it feels a little bit more like micromanagement. Do we like micromanagement? And this is where the project gets stuck. Not in technology, but somewhere in between the leadership layer when it comes from vision to execution. If additionally now your purpose and your storytelling is getting weak, you leave people behind. They will not be comfortable in their position. They will not be comfortable doing their job. When we onboard new technology, we can train skills quickly on the way. When it comes to behavior, it's nothing which can be done over the weekend. We have to plan this up front. This has to be in the books, like technology, resources, budget, and all the other things. One thing every company, every team, every project needs is psychological safety. This means people have to trust you when you say, like, this is okay, make mistakes, just try, be my guest. Before asking people to change from A to B, make sure that they have an environment where they trust and feel comfortable. So they start going with you into experimentations, into new trials, into the new world. They're willing to test something, even they might fail. Being okay with doing something wrong is something really hard. Most people have a big problem with that. Leaders who start building this environment will see much faster adaptations. Not because they are nicer, but because their people will stop defending. What is often underestimated is a shared vision, which is needed to create a shared language in the company. So top management comes down with their vision. This is what we are standing for. This is what we are doing. Then it goes through certain layers and everybody has the chance to add something, take something out, interpret the world differently. And what comes out all the way at the bottom? Do you know that? Do we control this? I want to invite you to a little game. Go through certain departments and ask how they interpret company vision. And then compare it to the original version. from top management. Get a sense of the difference. So without total clarity, if your company vision is arrived really in every team, how can you be sure that decisions are made on the same standards? So don't be too fast to think everybody's aligned just because you told them the company vision multiple times. Why is this so important? The company vision is the North Star and tell people how to react in certain situations. And when it comes to digitalization projects, many times we tell them this is the technology, use it, but they don't really understand the purpose. Why? What does this mean for the future? Why does this connect to the total vision of themselves and the company and maybe their part in the future they want to play? So why is this language so important? Many times we just tell people a few times our vision and think like everybody understood and is aligned. This is a very common mistake in leadership. Company vision is a very fancy thing in corporate slides and many times told to the people. And alignment is an assumption. But do we check in? Do we really test what people understood, what they take out of it? No. And then, when it comes to digitalization and really change in behaviors and how people adapt to things, we let go of controlling the outcome. Especially when times get tough, people need signals. They need to understand that they are doing things right. And this is not only done in a quarterly feedback round or in a yearly performance review. You need to do this frequently. Whenever something happens, you have to give feedback to the people and give them signs. You're doing things great. This is okay how you do it. Let's try again. Let's not get demotivated. Let's keep on track. This is how a team works. It's very hard to install new technology on old behaviors. So don't leave your people behind. Not only put your technology app and new process into the planning, put also your people into the planning. What are possible obstacles and fears from the people, and can we do something up front? As a quick win, go out to your people, talk to them honestly. What do they need? What do you give them? And how do things really work for them? Don't assume that you do everything possible. Ask people what can be done better. Make them a feedback channel. Make them respond to your needs. This will amplify your outcomes much more than just pushing harder. Only with this relationship between you and your people, you will be able to distribute ownership, to make them accountable. And you know what? They take it. That's truly complex. Not easy. That's why so many companies fail with this. But it's doable. Stop leading technology, start leading people and technology. If this is a conversation you want to have, I'm available. Just approach me, send me a PM, and let's go into a talk.